What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we got a few things to talk about. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills first. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't really want to talk about this because I'm kind of over this franchise. But a couple of people have asked me my opinion about Garcelle unfollowing all of Sutton's business accounts after she did an interview with Page Six. So here we are. So in the description box below, there will be a link to the Page Six article if you would like to read it for yourself. I'm not going to read it, but here are my thoughts. Garcelle's starting to get on my nerves. It's starting to feel performative the same way I feel like Bose is performative. So Sutton did an interview with Page Six, and they were asking her how does she feel about Garcelle basically unfollowing everybody on the cast except the friends of, i.e. Jennifer Tilly and what's her name, and Kathy Hilton. And Sutton basically was like, it seems like Garcelle wants a clean break. I know she's going to move on to bigger and better things. I'm happy for her and things of that nature. Even though she unfollowed my Instagram, she did not unfollow my business accounts. Well, I guess Garcelle saw the article and then went and unfollowed Sutton's business accounts. And that's kind of what people were talking about on Monday about how they truly are no longer friends anymore. And this sends a statement to Sutton. And granted, I definitely feel like it sends a statement to Sutton, but I feel like Garcelle's being performative. And the reason why I say that is when you type in somebody's name on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even on Facebook, there's 7 different accounts that pop up that somewhat have the same name. And all of Sutton's business accounts say Sutton. They say her name. It's like the first name of the account. So I'm like, girl, when you typed in Sutton's original, like her personal account, all of her business accounts popped up. So why didn't you just do a swoop and unfollow all of them? So that's why I feel like it's giving performative, it's giving disingenuous. And I'm like, okay, if you don't want to be friends with her, that is your choice. If you're still mad at her, which I do feel like Garcelle has a right to be upset with Sutton, then that's cool or whatever. But it is kind of just giving like, girl, you just want to keep doing things to drive the point home, and I'm bored with it. The same way when Bose posted that thing about I'm strong. Okay, girl, we get it. I'm over Beverly Hills. Like maybe if I was into the franchise more, I would be like, oh my gosh. But I'm just like, okay, I guess they really not friends no more. We move on. It is what it is. I still feel like people are doing too much, going in Sutton's comments, harassing her. Like the friendship didn't work out. We saw Sutton be weak and lack self-esteem. It is what it is at that point. If you're going to watch the show with an open mind. Don't hate watch, because what's the point of that? But it is what it is, That's how I feel. It is what it is. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? So first up, let's talk about Jassi. So on Monday, it was announced that Jassi and Mia were not returning to Real Housewives of Potomac. So I saw this posted by Reality Chat. It says Jassi's not returning to RHOP franchises to lose its youngest star. So it goes on to say we're on the brink of a milestone, the 10th season of Real Housewives of Potomac, and as casting news is hitting the blogs, we are learning from a close source that Jassi Rideaux is not returning to the franchise. After joining last season, Jassi became a quick fave after her gangster and alcohol run-in with Vetch Giselle and Ashley early on in the season. We've learned that although contracts negotiations have been made, Jassi is currently not expected to return. Although she hasn't made official statements confirming her departure, our sources say that Jassi is currently in talks for another popular show on another network. With her upcoming wedding to pro NFL player Darius Harris on the horizon, I feel like Jassi would have been a shoe-in for RHOP. I hope the newbies are bringing it next season. So Jassi saw these headlines and she decided to respond. So she said this on Twitter. She says, some things are better left unspoken, not because there's nothing to say, but because not every opportunity is meant for public consumption. I move with purpose, not pressure. I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised by where and when they next see me or read about me. She goes on to say, I know everyone is doing their best to stay entertained these days, but the photoshopping and speculative narratives have become a bit gravitacious. One outlet has grazed the truth, but the whole promoted, demoted, on or off the housewives chatter is immaterial to the life I live. Seems like the fans know a lot more than I do. LOL. So I'll be honest, when I first read these sets of tweets from Jassi, I immediately thought like, girl, are you saying you are coming back, or are you confirming that you're not coming back? Like, I was confused, and I'm being completely honest. I feel like Jassi sometimes speaks in riddles and gives us a bunch of word salad, and I'm like, girl, get to the point sometimes. Because on the first tweet where she says, I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised by where and when they next see me or read about me, that made me feel like she was confirming that she was not coming back. But then you read her second tweet and she's like, I know everyone's doing their best to stay entertained these days, but the photoshopping and speculative narrative have become a bit gravitacious. Which I was like, okay, so are you saying that people are lying? Like they're making up things about you? But then she goes on to say, one outlet has grazed the truth, but the whole promoted and demoted on or off the housewives chatter is immaterial to the life I live. That second statement makes me feel like, okay, so it is true that somebody, whoever is reporting that you're leaving, is telling the truth. They just don't have the whole entire truth. But then she ends her series with tweets by saying, seems like the fans know a lot more than I do. So I'm like, so do you know if you coming back or not? Like, I'm confused. But I feel like she's not coming back. And the reason why I say that is I think Jassi squandered her potential of being a friend of, because a lot of people, or the rumor that was going on online, because I don't know if it's true, was that she was running up behind Darius, her fiance, because it made no sense why Jassi was not on the cash trip. Like, to me, if she really wanted to be a part of the show, she would have been on the cash trip. But then I think about the reunion and how they talk about what happened with Stacey and her going to Miami with Mia. But then I'm like, maybe they just needed that to beef up the reunion because we didn't have Karen. I don't know. I mean, if she's not there, fine. It would have been nice to see her as a new addition to the show, especially to see her wedding, because I definitely feel like Jassi would have gone all out. And also, I do feel like Jassi would have fit Potomac. It seems like she does come from an upper middle class family. I remember her gifting Karen wine from her family's vineyard, and I'm like, oh, I would like to get to know her more. I really didn't care about the online chatter about her being a side chick or not, but who knows when we will see her next. So moving on, let's talk about Mia. So I think on Saturday, Mia decided to do this like photo shoot rollout of her officially quitting when she announced it on Monday. Like, first of all, she reheated Ashley's nachos. Okay, like, girl, you bit off her style, because when Ashley announced that she and Michael were officially divorced, she did the whole like newspaper, like, breaking news type photo shoot. Mia started posting photos on I think Saturday or either Sunday. I think it was Saturday, or maybe it was Sunday. Either way, the first photo shoot, the newspaper reads, like, the title of the newspaper is the Mia Moore Times. And I want to know, who calls Mia Moore? Like, we never heard Ink call her that. We didn't hear Gordon call her that. Her children never call her that. Maybe her mom called her that, but we never heard her say that. I feel like Mia's trying to make it work, but it doesn't work. It just don't work for me. But basically, the name of the article was Mia Moore Times, or The Mia Moore Times. The first photo shoot had coming soon or coming news. Then one of the titles of the newspaper said the queen of the franchise, and we all blame Carlos King for making that lady feel like she was the queen of the franchise, okay? And fans included, I being one of them. I blame myself, because I really did think Mia was going to be like the new supreme of season 9, but she floundered so badly. And then the last picture was like, the Mia Moore Times, it's official, Mia is moving to Atlanta. And I was like, girl, what is this? I felt like this was not needed, y'all. I was like, Mia, girl. And the reason why I say that is back in February, I thought Mia was a shoe-in to be back on Real Housewives of Potomac, mainly because we found out that Karen was going to jail, and two, we saw her, or I saw her, they posted pictures of her at the NAACP Awards with Jassi, Kiarna, and Wendy. So I was like, even though she walked off the stage, and normally in the Bravo universe, that's a confirmation that you quit the show, like you're basically turning in your 2 weeks notice, especially if you don't come back to the stage. I was just like, well, maybe they'll keep her because Karen is in jail. But then on not before that picture, when she did that interview with Inc. back in March or maybe in February, I was like, yeah, she probably not coming back. She over there glazing the SHIT out of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, she is just like, oh my God, I really want to be a part of those girls. The girls are friendly towards me. Like, that's a franchise I could really take storm, take charge. So I was just like, yeah, she probably not coming back. And then in April, when she posted that picture of her 3 kids, and I think she put hashtag ATL, hashtag penthouse living, and like I think Mama Bear or Mother Bear, I was like, okay, she's officially moving to Atlanta. She's definitely not going to be on Real Housewives of Potomac. Mainly because I'm like, Mia is not that integral to Real Housewives of Potomac where they'll be okay with her splitting her time between Atlanta and like the DMV area. Because if you look at Salt Lake City, Orange County, and Miami, there's notable people on those franchises that don't live full time in those cities. Like Heather Dubrow does not live full time in Orange County. She lives in Beverly Hills with her husband, and her kids go to school there. But when it's time to film Real Housewives of OC, she goes back down to Orange County where she has a apartment in one of the nicest like hotels or country clubs in Orange County. Same with Larsa from Real Housewives of Miami. Larsa splits her time between LA because her children play basketball there, as well as her daughter is still in high school. And then when it's time to film, she has a penthouse in Miami. And then you also have Meredith. Meredith lives half of the time or half the year in New York. And then when it's time to film for Salt Lake City, she moves down to Salt Lake City. So it's just like those 3 women to me are notable and are integral to Real Housewives of like Salt Lake City, Miami, and Orange County. But Mia, she did herself a disservice, and it's like, girl, you're not needed. So I don't think anybody thought after you posted that picture of your kids that we thought you needed to come out and tell us that you're officially not coming back. We knew. But let's read her statement anyway. So she said this: with every new season comes a new beginning, and I have some news to share. My family and I have made the decision to relocate to Atlanta, and with that, I will not be returning to Real Housewives of Potomac next season. The past 4 seasons have been an unforgettable journey, one filled with growth, lessons, and so many incredible memories. I want to thank Truly Original, Bravo, NBC Universal, and Andy Cohen for believing in me and giving me the space to share my story. To my castmates, thank you for the laughs and the lessons and the unforgettable moments. And to the amazing fans, your love and support has meant everything to me. I'll always carry it with me. The next chapter is already full of exciting opportunities, and I can't wait to take you all along for the ride. Big things are coming. I don't just make headlines, I make history. Atlanta, brace yourself. The empire has expanded. Hashtag legacy in the making. Girl, what empire and what legacy? Mia. And see, this is how I know Mia squandered her potential on Real Housewives of Potomac, because think about the things that Mia has done. Has she even made a name for herself beyond this show? She really hasn't. Like, if you think about Robin and Candace, we know they're gone. And even Charisse. Charisse was known for the champagne room. I think she does sell her own champagne brand, but she's known for that. You think about Karen, even though Karen is locked up, she has Ladam, she has her wigs, she has things beyond Real Housewives of Potomac. And then you think about Candace. Candace is acting, she's singing, she has her wig line. Like, she is making a name beyond Potomac. Even Robin. Robin has them bedazzled hats in that podcast with Giselle. What does Mia have? Like, all people are going to remember about Mia is that she lied. And that she brought her a boyfriend on the show while she was divorcing her husband. Like, and her storyline with her child. It's like, you didn't create a legacy. So what do you mean legacy in the making? And what do you mean the empire is being expanded because you didn't create an empire? Girl, what? But continuing on, let's talk about Ashley. So Ashley was being interviewed by Ricky Cornish for Pride Magazine or Pride.com. And he wanted to know her thoughts about Mia leaving. So let me play that clip for you guys.
What your overall thoughts are of Mia not returning for next season?
Well, this isn't shocking to me. The reunion left me with a not so good taste in my mouth. I just look at her in a different light that she did that instead of standing 10 toes on her business. So I'm happy she's doing what's best for her. And considering all that transpired, this probably is the best choice for her.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you. In my opinion, it sounds like she's trying to go from a flute holder to a peach holder. Do you think that will happen, Ashley?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Considering what I'm seeing on Atlanta right now, absolutely not. Those ladies would cheer up and spit her out.
I agree with Ashley. Mia would get chewed up and spit out if she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta this season or any other season. Like, I'm just thinking about Mia being on Real Housewives of Atlanta during, like, Atlanta in its prime, when we had peak Nene Leakes, Kenya, Portia, Candy, Phaedra, Cynthia. I'll even throw Claudia Jordan in there, and KKK Kim Zolciak. You know, like, we had heavy hitters. Mia could not handle them. She couldn't even handle Lisa Wu. Like, girl, what? Are you serious? Mia. And my thing about it is, like, even with the women that we have now, that she couldn't handle them, because I guarantee you every time there was a group scene, they would have been reading her rights. Like, the women on Real Housewives of Potomac took it very light on Mia. They didn't really get at her until the reunion. But I know for a fact that the women that we have now would have questioned Mia every time that there was a group scene and every time that there was new information being leaked about her relationship with Ink, her relationship with, Gordon and the paternity of their child. Now, aesthetically, yeah, Mia would fit the mold. Like, I could definitely see Mia hanging out with Brit, Kelli, Portia, Shamia, Drew, Phaedra, now that she's a city auntie. Like, she would hang out with them, but I think that they would be on her ass the entire season. So I don't even know why she's trying to make this ploy to be a part of the show. I also don't think Mia reads the room well, because it's like, girl, you floundered so badly. Like, for you to think that we want to see you on another franchise is comical. Like, it's wild of you. And I do wonder what they're going to do now without Mia, Jassi, and Karen not being there. Like, that means we probably gonna lose Jacqueline, which I'm fine with. Okay. But now it's like we just have Stacey, Ashley, because I don't think they're getting rid of Ashley. Everybody wants Ashley to be gone, but the fact that Ashley's on that new reality dating show, Love Island, they're not getting rid of Ashley. We have Giselle, we have Wendy, and I think people said that Kiarna confirmed that she's coming back. So we have those 5 women, meaning now we have 3 other spots to be filled in of friends of or a new housewife. So I'm wondering what they'll do now, because I heard that allegedly that the reason why Mia came out is because they have just started filming again. And they've also said that Candace is not returning to Potomac anytime soon. So we'll see what season 10 looks like. Hopefully they have a good bunch of newbies. So moving on, let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So first up, let's talk about Kelli. So I saw a lot of people saying that, oh, Kelli confirmed that Brit had a firearm on her and she's seen it. And why didn't she say anything about it at the night of the vault? Well, I found the interview clip that everyone was talking about, so I wanted to play it for you guys. So Kelli was on the Instagram page, but I think they also have a YouTube channel. It's called Bro Chat, and it has 4 hosts, and they all were asking, Kelli a series of questions because she was being interviewed by them. So this is what they put in the caption. It says, Kelli Ferrell confirms Brit Eady's history of carrying a weapon. Search Bro Chat on YouTube for the full interview. Edited by Mitch Kimbrough. Okay, so let me play the clip for you guys.
I know her to be someone who would carry a weapon or a whip or anything like that.
The wine's right there.
So
You guys, have I seen a weapon in her possession before? Yes.
Clock it here.
But I can't tell you that was towards someone. I mean, we're in Georgia. I carry a weapon. I am licensed to carry. I carry a weapon with me. For my safety, for my children. I own a business. You have to protect yourselves at all costs.
But you're being honest about it.
I have to get home. Yeah, I have to get home to my daughters.
She's saying that she isn't carrying a weapon and she doesn't own a weapon.
Let me just say this. I stand in my truth in regards to what I support and what I don't. I don't support gun violence. Okay. I don't support anything pertaining to harm of a woman or an individual, especially going through the things that I've been through in my life.
We can tell how genuine you are. I think that's why the audience were so responsive to you, is because you do give us very genuine responses.
How long did you know Brit before the season?
Ooh,
before the show.
So I've known Brit probably for at least close to a year prior to the show. I didn't know Brit prior to some of her other past.
Right.
Did you?
So here's the thing. I don't think anybody cares that Brit has a firearm. I think the issue is she keep lying. She says, oh, I was never in possession of a weapon. She said it on Watch What Happens Live. Then she gets on her Instagram back in June when the incident went down, and you say, I never had a weapon. I've never been in possession of one. But now you have Kelli who's letting it be known that, no, I've seen her gun before. I've seen it, but I didn't see it that night. So I don't know. I just feel like this whole situation could have been avoided had Brit never got that aggressive or that angry or that hostile and threatened Kenya to begin with. And if she never lied. Because people wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, Kelli's letting all the tea hang out. And I'm like, no, I think she's just letting it be known. I have one. Everyone has one down here in Atlanta. It's an open carry state. I got the proper channels. I'm protecting my kids. She's protecting herself. But I would be remiss to say that I've never seen it when I have seen it. Even though in the Bossip interview, she was like, I didn't hear her say that towards Kenya. Now, you go back, girl, I beg to differ, but she does admit that it was a lot of commotion going on, so she wasn't sure if that was directed towards Kenya when they were in the lobby. But girl, definitely outside, that girl was tripping. She was tripping, Kelli. You have to cop to that, all right? But some people feel like it's weird that Kelly's switching up now that her and Brit aren't cool anymore. I kind of see it that way a little bit, but on the other end, I'm just like, well, I mean, if they not cool and you asking me a question, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie like you. But there's that. The link to this interview will be in the description box below, because she also talked about Phaedra and Angela, as well as how she feels about the situation with Kenya. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is Brit Eady's husband and this man, David Cunningham. So Tasha K did an interview with this guy by the name of David Cunningham. He is saying that he is allegedly ex-best friends with Brit Eady. He's also saying that he hosts these DL parties that Brit Eady's husband used to frequent. And like I said, Tasha K did an interview with him. Now, I'm just going to play the audio of these clips, not the actual video that's going around, because I do think this is from Tasha K's actual app that you have to pay for. Okay, so the first clip, the title is Brit Eady's ex-friend says you have to pay extra if you want to wear draws at these secret DL parties.
What type of things be going on at these parties? Like, I mean, is there condoms being used?
So,
is there a lot of going on?
So what I do is I run the door, and if I
Okay.
see something I like, I might, engage, but I want to make sure I got my money. I hire runners for the night to make sure that, things are clean, condoms are picked up off the floor. There's, liquor, of course. I don't allow any drugs, no diddy, extracurricular activities. But liquor is okay. There's condom, there's lube. The bathroom is fully stocked. You come in, you dress down. I give you a bag. You can pay $5 extra to, wear your underwear. Most people don't want to pay the extra $5 to wear their underwear. So they're butt ass naked, walking around, doing what they do. In ski mask, unmasked. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's very risky.
It is. But it's reality.
So the guy is basically saying that he hosts these DL parties, or he's a part of them. You pay $30 to get in. You can wear a ski mask. You can be barefaced. If you want to wear underwear, it's $5 extra. Most people don't do that. And this was the first clip that was being circulated around. The second clip was this one where it says Brit Eady's ex-friend claims he bent her husband over a balcony a few times to taste him. So let me play that clip for you guys.
Comments talking about, don't act like I didn't have your man bent over a balcony. Did you have Brit Eady's husband, Michael Cunningham?
I may have tasted him.
Tasted him? What do you mean tasted him? Like, what do you elaborate?
Well, I'm a soft top. I don't play with my booty hole at all. I do the playing with the booty hole. I do the bending. And yeah.
You saying you bent her husband over?
I think multiple people bent her husband over.
Oh my God. Hey, Shaq, call the lawyer, because it's gonna go down. And this video is going out. I don't give a fuck what they say. It's going down. It's going out. We got a man here on the show with receipts from this lady's husband, and he said he bent her husband over the balcony a few times.
Mm-hmm. Multiple people have bent her husband over. And I feel like she shouldn't have come for me, knowing that I know these things about her and her husband. Like I told her in the comments, I told her that. I feel like she knows that her husband is gay. I mean, he might be bisexual. I don't know. Shit, girl.
I mean, what do you call a man that gets bent over at 2:00 in the morning by strangers?
Gay.
Cheers. Okay.
So I don't believe this. And you want to know why I don't believe this? Is because of David Cunningham himself. He's a known grifter out in LA. And when I saw the video of him and Tasha K together, I was like, he looks really familiar to me, but I couldn't pinpoint where. And then when I got on Twitter, somebody retweeted the tweet about him that got posted back in January of 2023. And I was like, OMG, that's where I remembered him. So this person by the name of Jasmine Canick, I think she's like a journalist of some sorts. She also has a website. I'll put it in the description box below, where she goes into further detail about who David Cunningham is, aka David Tennyson is. Where she even posted about him recently getting arrested and everything. But back in January of 2023, she hopped on Twitter and said this: "What a weekend. Where to start? A well-known LA grifter, David Tennyson, aka David Cunningham, broke into a home in Inglewood. While the homeowner was out of town, he changed the locks, he moved in, and even made a fake lease he showed to the police." And I remember everyone talking about this because the lease was so convincing. Everybody was like, yo, like that looks so real. But the more you looked at it, you could tell that it was fake. But yeah, I was like, I don't believe this. What also makes me feel like I don't believe this, if this is supposed to be a DL party, something that's supposed to be confidential and secretive, why are you only charging $30 or $35 if they want to keep their pants on? If I was the person hosting these parties, at minimum, I would be charging $150 and at the most $500 to go to these parties. Like, you just don't let anybody in, especially if these are supposed to be people who are worried about this secret or this life-altering secret getting out. Now, I don't have any problem with anybody being gay, but I do understand how down low culture is funded by society and people saying that they want people to be honest and be authentic, but the moment that they are shunned, belittled, and they put themselves in danger. So I get it to a certain extent, but I was like, this just doesn't make sense to me. You charging only $30? $30 is 2 burritos at Chipotle. Your livelihood is only worth $30? So I said, that's a lie too. And the other reason why I didn't believe this information is because this information is coming from Tasha K. Now, I'm not saying that everything that Tasha K has reported on has been false or not factual. Sometimes she has gotten it right, but it's like, you take everything from her with a grain of salt, okay? And I took this like with a grain of salt because it definitely doesn't feel like Tasha really vetted or had her team vet him, because I'm like, I feel like a quick Google search would have shown y'all that like this man got a mugshot. He's also a known grifter. So David wasn't happy with the way people were talking about him. So he hopped onto his Instagram with like an onslaught of like statements. He first called out his friend named Oprah. And then the next statement he posted was about Claudia Jordan and Funky Dineva. And then the last statement he posted was him addressing people. So let's talk about the Claudia Jordan statement. So he said this: let's talk about Claudia Jordan. She had the audacity to go on Fox Soul and try to drag my name through the dirt like she hasn't benefited from the same system she pretends to stand above. This is the same woman who came to me more than once asking for fake bank statements and check stubs so she could get approved for luxury apartments and homes in Los Angeles and Atlanta. I helped her quietly because that's who I was, because I knew the struggle of trying to look like you had it together just to survive in this country. And then she turns around and sits on a panel smug and polished, acting like I'm the fraud, like she wasn't a part of the same hustle. And right next to her, Funky Dineva, who's not just another media personality throwing shade, but someone who personally bought cocaine for me, not once, but multiple times. That's your choice, sir. He goes on to say, I've seen him in the bathrooms getting high. I've handed him the bag. That's the truth. And yet here he is acting like he's better than me, like he wasn't in the same clubs, the same scenes, the same transactions. They both wanted to ride the wave of tearing me down publicly, but they forgot I was there too. I was part of their stories, even when they want to erase me from the narrative now. You don't get to benefit from me in the silence and then judge me out loud. That's not righteous. That's cowardice. I've kept these stories to myself for years, protecting people who never do the same for me, but now I'm speaking fully, loudly, with my whole chest. He goes on to say, you want to be famous, cool, but not off my pain, not off my name. I stay quiet long enough. I'm telling it all. First of all, sir, no one cares about Funky Dineva's habits. Like, he has exposed that himself. So calling out that he bought these substances for you doesn't really do anything. I don't know about accusing Claudia of needing you to pay for helping forge bank statements and check stubs for luxury apartments when we know Claudia has been in Tubi movies. My friend just went and saw a play that she's featured in. So it does seem like Claudia is working way more than you. So I was like, what's the point of this statement and how are they benefiting off of you when we don't even know who you are, other than people calling you a known grifter out in LA? And the picture that he posted behind it, he looks way younger than what he does now. And I'm like, how old is this picture? And it's giving fan. Like, you saw her and wanted to take a picture with her. And you didn't even have a picture of Funky Dineva, but yet you and Funky Dineva were locked in like that. I don't know. Smells like a liar. So the next statement he makes, he says, let's go ahead and clear the air since some of y'all love running my name through the mud with zero facts. Calling me a scammer, girl, be serious. Half the SHIT y'all accuse me of, I've never even done. And let's be real, I live good now, real good. No fake flex, no CPNs, no sketchy SHIT. You can say the same, can you say the same thing? But since we want to play messy, let's talk about how the same people pointing fingers are the same ones sniffing lines in the bathroom stalls, popping pills, frauding their way into apartments, begging for PPP loans they've never qualified for. Y'all live in glass houses with no curtains and want to act like I'm the problem. Don't forget, I stay silent out of grace. But if you want to keep pushing me, just know no one is safe. Brit Eady learned that the hard way when she came for me, and I post facts. You try me, I'll do the same to you. So keep it cute, or we can go to war. I got tea on a lot of you. I got receipts, and I'm not holding back SHIT no more. You got one option, shut the FUCK up or leave me the hell alone or get your truths exposed. Pick wisely, boo. The sad thing about it is no one's going to care about this by the time we get to Sunday. People might talk about it. They might throw shade at Brit saying that her husband's gay and all of this. But baby, this is Housewives. People have been calling people's husbands gay since the show started. Like, there are at least like him, they called him Nat. I can count 5 housewife husbands that everyone thought or still alludes to being gay. And it hasn't changed anything for these women other than they stay on the show and it's like reality TV fodder. So for him to be saying that he outed Brit's husband like she learned the hard way, you sound stupid because nothing's going to come of this other than showing that you're not somebody to be trusted and people already know you're a liar. And now we looking at your mugshot online. So Brit Eady saw this and she responded with this statement from the War Paint Journal. It says, adult bullying is real and it's insidious. It looks like false rumors, carefully crafted to erode reputations. It's turning allies into strangers by manipulating the narrative. It's public humiliation, strategic exclusion, calculated mockery, and the kind of silence that screams. It withholds information to ensure failures. It's passive aggression dressed as professionalism. It's not playground drama. It's psychological warfare in adult clothing, and it's time we stop excusing it and start naming it. Brit, I'm sorry. Does that happen to people? Yes. But let's call a thing a thing. You got on the internet lying. You didn't expect people not to like you. You assumed that they would. You were so boastful and happy when people were dragging Kenya through the mud. And now that it's happening to you and you're getting a taste of what Real Housewives go through, now it's bullying. When a lot of people have said most of the girls that are on Real Housewife take some type of anxiety medication or they're in extensive therapy for the way that they're ridiculed. And I'm pretty sure they told you this in the interview process to let you know, like, if you sign up for this, you in for a wild ride. So do I agree with David coming out? No, I think it's clout chasing. I think it's cowardice, and I think it's very manipulative because he knows that people don't like her right about now, so he's just trying to attach his name to something, and it's messed up. And like I said beforehand, it just shows that he's somebody not to be trusted, and I hope a lot of the people that live in Atlanta stay away from him. But do I think it was that deep for Brit to post something like this? No, because I feel like, girl, you signed up for this. I'm not saying people should be bullied unnecessarily, they should be ridiculed unnecessarily or condemned. No, but it's like, this is Housewives. Like, this is the lifestyle. Like, your life is underneath a microscope. There are going to be people who unnecessarily and unfoundedly are mean to you just because they don't like you. Like, they go out their way to find things about you, to trash your name, to tarnish your character. But it's like, you're 36, 37 years old. I know for a fact you've seen that happen. You've been in the entertainment industry, whether it's in the adult entertainment industry or just dating Rick Ross, B.O.B. and Young Bird. You know how people get down. You've been one of them. We saw you go back and forth with Jennifer Williams. Like, you know how nasty people can be. So I need you to stop trying to sit in your victimhood and, you know, build up that wall you say you have and be prepared to fight, because the girls are going to keep coming whether you like it or not because you chose to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. And as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in them comments below and subscribe to the channel. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.